Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. My name is Ginger Pierce, and I am one of the travel agents with Marvelous Mouse Travels. We are the agency that runs this Facebook group, along with several others on Facebook that are focused around different destinations. We are also an earmarked platinum authorized Disney vacation planner. And what that means is that we are trained by Disney, often on site, and we are recognized by Disney as being experts in their vacation product and also providing an exceptional level of customer service to our clients. So, welcome to Sundays with MMT. This is a weekly live agent panel video series that we do in one of our groups every Sunday night at 8 p.m. And we are so excited to talk to you tonight about doing Disney World without the dining plan. When I posted about this on Friday night, I was absolutely blown away at the level of response that we got for this topic. And so clearly, this is a topic that a lot of you are really interested in. So we're excited to talk to you and share some tips and tricks with you tonight. And we also want to save some time at the end of the video to take your questions. We are live tonight using a platform known as StreamYard. And so StreamYard may ask you to approve it to display your name and profile picture before you ask a question. Just know that you can decline that permission and you can still post a question anonymously, and we'll still be able to interact with you and answer that question. So we are going to go over just some general information with you first tonight. And then at the end of this video is when we will take as many of your questions as we can. So if at any point during the video tonight you have a question, just go ahead and drop that into the comments, and then we will get to all of those at the end of what we have to share with you tonight. But I'm joined by three wonderful MMT agents. Ladies, thank you so much for being here tonight. And if you will take just a second to introduce yourselves, say how long you've been with the agency, and let us know the best way for people to contact you if they're interested in planning a vacation.
Hi, I'm Mandy Bishop. I have been with Marvelous Mouse Travels for over a year now. You can contact me on the Facebook page shown here, Mandy B MMT, or send an email to mandy.bishop@marvelousmousetravels.com.
Hi, I'm Chrissy. I have been with the agency for about 6 months, and the best way to contact me is Chrissy@marvelousmousetravels.com.
Hi, everybody. My name's Mary Alice Fout. Happy to be with you all tonight. I've been with the agency since October of 2019. Best way to reach me is facebook.com/Mary Alice MMT. You can also email me at maryalice@marvelousmousetravels.com.
And again, I'm Ginger. I have been with Marvelous Mouse Travel since May of 2018. The best way to reach me is actually at my Linktree page, which is gingermmt.com. But my primary social media platform that I'm on most of all is my YouTube channel, and that is youtube.com/gingermmt. And since we're on the topic of Disney dining, I'm actually going to be releasing a video in the next couple of days that is my hidden gem restaurants in Walt Disney World. So if you're interested in Disney dining, definitely check out that channel if you would like to. So, ladies, as we all know, and a lot of our viewers already know tonight as well, Disney is not currently offering their dining plans. And for a lot of Disney veterans, ourselves included, we love the Disney dining plan, and for many of us, the Disney dining plan is just kind of like that reflexive part of planning our Disney vacation. Like, of course, I'm going to add the Disney dining plan, because the fact of the matter is that if you know how to maximize the value of those credits, you really can save money with the Disney dining plan. Just for example, for the trip that my travel party of 6 would have taken in May of 2020 had the parks not been closed, I actually crunched the numbers, and I looked at every restaurant we would eat at, what we would realistically order, and I think for our party of 6, we would have saved about $400 going with the dining plan. Now, of course, we're a party of 6, 4 of whom are adults, so smaller families might not see, a $400 savings. But definitely, if you know how to use the Disney dining plan and maximize those credits, you can save some money with it. And if and when we're hoping, soon the Disney dining plans do come back, tips and tricks like that about how to maximize the dining plan credits is something that working with a travel agent can give you access to. And before we get much further into this topic, I do want to point out the fact that booking your vacation with a Marvelous Mouse Travels agent is completely free to you. You are going to pay the exact same amount to book your vacation through us that you would pay to book it yourself on Disney's website. And yet you are going to get a level of personalized customer service and personalized recommendations that you're not going to get if you're booking that vacation yourself. However, right now, the only option for dining at Disney World is actually to pay out of pocket for your food. And so one of the things that people love the most about the Disney dining plan is that opportunity to kind of prepay for your meals. So I think the first thing that I want to talk about tonight is how can people still get that kind of all-inclusive prepaid experience with their food without the Disney dining plan?
Well, I know I've been advising clients here to go ahead and purchase some Disney gift cards. Some people like to save up money ahead of time so that they have that money ready to spend when they get there. So if they pick up a gift card at the grocery store, every time they grab groceries, by the time you get to Disney, you have quite a bit of money to spend and ready to swipe that card instead of worrying about it being on your credit card at the end of your trip.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that's a great idea. Overall, Target Red Card can save you an additional 5% off that gift card. So I know lots of clients like to do that, and you can find gift cards at lots of retail locations. One thing that my family actually likes to do personally is we have a Disney Visa card. So if you have one of those too, you're going to earn all of those Dream Rewards dollars, and then you can just get your Dream Reward card, and you can redeem that here for anything on Disney property. So we like to use that for our meals.
Yeah, that's a great tip. We have a Disney Visa card too, and other rewards cards. And what we will do is we will actually pay for like our monthly expenses with that card, and then we'll just pay it off at the end of the month. And that way, we rack up rewards points. And I have actually seen people pay for trips, like entire trips, with their Disney rewards points. And so that's a great tip to use your Disney because it's free money. You've got to spend that money on groceries or eating out at a restaurant or whatever anyway. So you might as well earn some rewards dollars for that. And I think it was Mandy that mentioned if you do have a Target Red Card, you do get 5% off with your purchases of that red card. And that does include Disney gift cards. For people maybe who are not credit card fans or who maybe don't want to have money tied up in gift cards, honestly, a simple way to save for your food is just to use the envelope system, to just like maybe take $10 out of every paycheck or however much, you think is realistic. And we'll get to budgeting actually in just a second, but putting it away as cash, and that way you just bring that cash with you and you don't have a lot of money tied up in credit cards or in gift cards, but you still, have allotted for the price of your meals, which I think is helpful. So let's talk budgeting for just a second. This is a question that I've seen in the group a lot. What is a realistic amount of money to set aside for daily meals? So let's kind of cover quick service meals first. First of all, let's explain for people who are watching what is quick service dining at Disney World.
So quick service dining is going to be like your counter service dining. So it's going to be a fast food meal type, but it's not going to be fast food. It's going to be quality food that you get from your counter or you now mobile ordering it as well. And then you take it back to your table. You won't have a waiter or waitress coming to your table to refill drinks or things of that nature. So it's kind of fast casual.
Yeah. And of course, right now, with the way that things are at the parks, a lot of that quick service you're going to order mobily through the Walt Disney World app. So in your opinion, what do you guys think is like a realistic budget for adult quick service dining?
We usually plan for about $15 per person for our quick serve.
I think that's fair. What about for kids' meals?
8 to 10.
Yeah, that's
depending
probably
on the
fair.
location. Mhm.
Yeah. And another question that we get pretty often too is can adults
10.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Chrissy. Oh, I think we might have some delay issues on Chrissy there. But I mean,
No,
definitely,
it's
I
okay. Go ahead. I services, like the hotel, but like leave your dining like your hotels because you have the quick service and you have the different levels. So it really depends on what you want to eat and how much you want to spend, and you can dictate that any way you want. And meals that are every different variety, especially at Epcot, almost in every single country there is a quick service route. So you have a variety of choices no matter how much money.
Yeah, that's a great point. You do really have a great variety of choices with quick service dining, and I think 8 to 10 for a kid's meal, about 15 probably for an adult's quick service meal is probably a fair estimate. And another question that I see all the time in the group is, well, what about like if an adult wants to order off the kids' meal? Can you do that with quick service dining? What's the answer to that question?
Yes. I think I've done it recently.
Yeah, I have too. Because honestly, sometimes the kids, like depending on where you are, sometimes the kids' meals might sound more appealing to you, or they might be some of the quick service
You can
portions
order off.
are,
They're
are
not going to stop
truly,
you from. You
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and some of the quick service options, like the adult portion is big.
Mhm.
And so the kids' meal might be a little bit more, of a manageable portion
Mhm.
size for a lot of people.
And the kids' meals are a good value too
They are.
because you get your entree, you get to pick 2 sides. You can customize those, you can double up on those if you want to, and then you
Mhm.
get a drink too.
Yeah, that's true. That's a great little option. Now, what about table service? Which table service, of course, just being like your typical
I
waiter or
used to love
waitress
going to.
experience.
No,
Oh, go ahead, Chrissy. Okay. Well, table service meals, of course, are just your typical having a waiter or waitress who's going to come up to your
oh,
table,
I
and
think you.
who is going to take your order, and then you're, of course, going to have your typical restaurant experience. So for table service dining, we'll talk about character service or character dining separately here in just a second. But for just like a typical table service meal that is not a character meal, what's a fair amount to kind of set aside?
Adult-wise, 20 to $30 range. Really
Mhm.
depends on the restaurant that
Yeah,
you're at and what menu item you want on the restaurant.
I agree.
I agree too. And sometimes
Yeah.
lunch and dinner is different. There are
Mhm.
different price ranges for lunch versus dinner. So
Yes. And
That's a good
sometimes
point.
too, that's another great tip. Like if saving money is your number one priority with this, you might want to book your sit down meal, like your restaurant experience. Like if there is a restaurant, like maybe you want to eat inside, the castle, the Cinderella castle, then maybe you might want to choose to do that at breakfast as opposed to lunch or dinner because it might be a little bit less expensive to do that as well. So what about snacks? What's a typical price point for a snack? And first of all, let's talk about Disney snacks. Like, what are some of the different options? Like, it's not just popcorn, right? There's a whole lot of
Oh,
things that qualify as
no,
a
no,
snack.
no.
yeah,
Like, the snacks are where it's at. I mean, sometimes you can make your whole meal off snacks. I mean,
Yes.
especially at Epcot.
Oh, that's true. If there's a festival in
Yeah,
particular.
right. There's almost a year-round festival now at Epcot, so that's
Yes,
a great place to get snacks.
it's true.
Snacks range, I mean, of course, it can be more or less, but I would say between $5 to $8.
Mhm.
I agree.
Yeah, for sure. Some of my favorite snacks are the cupcakes. They
Oh, yeah.
have like the best cupcakes at
Mhm.
Disney. There's this
We're
one in
here.
particular that's like a fudgy chocolate cupcake, and it's got like Oreo frosting. It's so good.
Oh, yes. Whenever you
Yeah.
can find Oreo frosting at Disney, you must purchase it.
Yes, for sure.
But that's one of the
Um,
snacks we usually share because it's
yes.
so sweet and they're so good.
Yes,
We
that's
They
a
are.
very good
They're
point.
they're good sized cupcakes. So I usually cut mine in half and then I save the rest of it for like dessert the next night or something. Like
Oh,
pop it in the fridge at the hotel and then save it for later.
mm-mm.
So character dining, let's talk about a price point, like a good ballpark price point for character dining.
each save about $50 per person.
Mhm.
Yeah, on
And that
average.
right, and then that depends, like Ginger said, based on breakfast or lunch or dinner, those prices typically change too. Plus,
Mhm.
they also change based on the season and time of the year.
Yes, that's true. So, that's the thing with this is that you do kind of have to know that you are looking at ballpark pricing because again, seasonal, what time of day you're eating, what restaurant you're at, these are all factors that are going to kind of contribute to how much you actually are budgeting for at any point in time. So we talked about budgeting for meals, but before we move on from that topic, I do want to address another really common question that I see in Disney groups, and that is, can you split meals at Disney World? So can you do that?
You can.
Yes. And there are certain situations where you can and certain
Mhm.
situations where you can't. So what would be some examples of situations where you cannot split a meal?
Any of your
Yeah.
character dining, buffet dining, you cannot split a meal.
Mhm.
Each pay individually.
Right. Any family style, you're not
Mhm.
going to be able to split that. That's going to be per person pricing. But
Yes.
any of your table service, any other table service, quick service meals are a great thing to split. And even the snacks we talked about,
Mhm.
most of them are large enough and sweet enough or savory enough that you will want to share with someone else. And that's another great way to be able to try and sample more things while you're here too.
That's true. And, of course, character dining would be another situation where you can't split meals and at character experiences. But I know that like one of our favorite places to eat on property is actually at one of the resorts. It's at Disney's Beach Club Resort, and it is Beaches and Cream. I love Beaches and Cream. They have like the best ice cream, but their entrees are really great too.
Mhm.
And so typically, because we are going to have ice cream, my husband and
Mhm.
I will split an entree at Beaches and Cream. And then that not only saves us some money, but it also gives us, room for that big ice cream sundae that we're going to order. Or maybe we're going to get a kitchen sink. A kitchen sink is literally every flavor of ice cream that they serve at Beaches and Cream, every topping that they have, and an entire can of whipped cream. Like you order this thing and literally
Uh,
lights go off in the
yeah.
restaurant and
And
they make like
you have to say it like they do, Ginger. A
a
whole
whole
can of whipped
can.
cream.
Yes. So that's definitely an experience. And of course, that's not one person. That'll say if they say it serves four, it would serve more than four, for sure. I mean, I guess if you got like a really big sweet tooth, maybe it would only serve four. But for most parties, it's gonna be more than that. But yeah, I mean, you can split meals if it's like an a la carte table service that's not a character meal, or if it's quick service dining. I know we do that a lot with breakfast. Like we'll sometimes get the bounty platter at the quick service at the resort. And then we will have our kids split that, or maybe my husband and I might split that. And it's a nice way to save some money there and save some room if you're going to be
Mhm.
eating a lot of stuff, which you might want to at Disney.
And one thing we didn't mention is that kids under 3 are free at Disney, and
Yes.
that includes their meals. They can eat off of your plate, and that is great.
They sure can. Yep. So, yes, that's another because I mean, if you've ever tried to order a kid's meal for a 2-year-old, you know how that goes, right? They take 2 bites of it and they're like, "Okay, I'm done." You're like,
Mhm.
"Okay, great. I'm glad I just dropped $10 on you to take 2 bites." So let's talk about the planning aspect of Disney dining. What is some of your favorite advice as agents to give to your clients about how to plan their daily meals?
think to stop and kind of just think about your family, what's important to them. I know with us, we enjoy seeing the characters, but with two older kids, we don't like to stand in line for them anymore. So we usually start off our day with a 10 o'clock brunch. We're not early risers, and we know that. So we start our morning with a 10 o'clock brunch at a character breakfast, and yeah, and go from there. So just kind of know how your family is and what's important to them.
Mary
Um,
Alice.
so
You go ahead.
something that something that I like to give advice is, we as travel agents can help you plan where's best for you to eat for your family, and based on your budgets or your food allergies. That's something else we didn't talk about. Is Disney is wonderful with that and accommodating needs, but also just to be flexible. And one other suggestion that I would give is, if you are looking to save money, it might be a good idea to eat at an off time. So even if you can't find that reservation right at 6:30 or right at the exact moment of perfect dinner or perfect lunch is in your mind, sometimes that can work in your favor, because if you have a really late lunch, it could count as your lunch and dinner. So that's another great way to save money, because you're not going to go hungry when you're here at Disney. There's plenty of food options, and it might even allow you to get a little extra snack in or a dessert in before the end of the day.
That's a great point. Chrissy, what's
And-
your favorite?
So Disney publishes all of their menus somewhere, so you can look ahead of time, or you can ask your travel agent. We can find them for you, and you can see what's at each restaurant. And what Mary Alice was saying, if you get the late lunch, you're actually eating off the lunch menu and you're having your dinner, so that can save you money too, because some of the lunches are less expensive than the dinners.
That's a great tip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One of my
Mhm.
favorite pieces of advice to give to clients is that, it's hot in Florida. So not all of us love the heat. And so I typically will tell my clients, like, do your nice long sit down meal in the hottest part of the day.
Mhm.
So maybe sometimes that is a slightly later lunch or a slightly earlier dinner, but it just gives you that break in the middle of the day. And I know, like, my kids are 8 and 5. And so by the time we hit like lunchtime, they're kind of done for a little bit. Like, they're ready to sit down and have some time in the air conditioning. And so we usually will do our table service meal at lunch in the hottest part of the day. And that way it kind of re-energizes us, and it gets us the energy that we're going to need to finish out and hopefully shut down the park, make it until it closes.
So there
And
was one other thing I just thought of. Lots of times we get asked this question: can you bring your own food and drinks inside the park? And you absolutely can do that. Disney is really great about that. You can bring your own waters in. You could bring your own picnic if you really wanted to. If that is how you're trying to save money, you can absolutely do that. Snacks for kids, everything.
Yeah, definitely you can. The only things, that they ask is that if you do have a cooler or something like that, that it is a certain size, and also that it doesn't have any loose ice or dry ice in it. But I know I have brought in, especially when my kids were younger, I've brought in goldfish and, different things for them, puffs, all kinds of stuff.
Mhm.
I've seen people bring, sandwiches in and stuff like that. So that's definitely something that you can absolutely do. Mary Alice, I'm glad you brought that up. That's really,
Because
that's
I
a
had
really good
snacks.
point.
I had snacks in my book bag today.
That's right.
Everyone
That's
make
right.
sure they bring their water bottles too.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Because you can get free water at the quick service locations. So they will give you a cup of water, which you can then pour into your own
Yes.
water bottle if you want to. So yeah, for sure. That's a great tip too. Because again, it's hot in Florida. You want to stay hydrated.
People don't realize it. They come there and they drink other stuff because they're used to that. But then Disney's heat is a lot different. So a lot of people are just not used to it. But if you have that water bottle with you, that's a great tip to have before you come. So
Right.
Absolutely.
And even when it's not as hot in Florida, you're doing a
Yes.
lot of walking, and you are going to need to replenish more frequently than you normally do.
For sure. Definitely. That's true.
yes.
So let's talk a little bit about character dining, particularly post reopening Disney World. So, how does it differ right now from the traditional character dining experience? And do you think it's still worth it for character dining right now? So, before we jump into that, let me kind of give a little background of what character dining is for people who might be new to this concept. So, when normal operations like pre-closure and everything, character meals were an opportunity for you to have a wonderful sit-down meal, and characters would actually come up to your table. They would take pictures with your family. Sometimes they would sign autographs, books for you, and things like that. There are princess character meals. There were Clubhouse Pals character meals with Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Daisy. All kinds of different characters. Winnie the Pooh. There's some that had Mary Poppins and Alice in Wonderland. So lots of different options for characters. Obviously, with social distancing, it's a little bit different right now. So how is it different? How is it different?
So they are giving modified character experiences at some locations. And so what that means is the characters that were there will still be there, but they are not going to come to your table and hug you and touch you and all those great things or sign your autograph book. But they are going to dance around and give you a great show and come by your table, and you'll be able to take some pictures of them or a great video like you're seeing right now, and maybe even one of those distanced selfies. And also, the meals are not the same because typically a lot of the character meals were buffets, which, for obvious reasons, are suspended right now. But in a lot of ways, I think that's better. I don't know how many of you are germaphobes like me, but I would rather someone bring me my food anyway than have a lot of people touching the spoon where I'm getting ready to serve. And I think the food quality with that, not being the buffet, even though there were some great things on the buffet, I feel like the food quality is better with the brought to your table family style or meal.
Yeah. Now you guys, Mary Alice, you just did, was it Crystal Palace today?
Yes,
Yeah.
it
Tell
was.
us a little bit about that.
So there actually weren't any characters, but it was delicious. The food was fantastic. The appetizers and desserts were family style, and you could order more of those if you wanted to. And then the entrees were not all you care to eat, but the portions were significant, and the food quality was excellent.
Yeah. So that's an example of something that was a character meal at one point. And now, yes, you don't have the characters, but you are maybe getting a different or in better in some ways even food experience, and you can actually walk down Main Street to the train station, and oftentimes you can see those Winnie the Pooh characters
Yeah,
that would
and
typically be
actually,
there.
depending where you were sitting in Crystal Palace today, we could see some of the cavalcades, go by from the distance. So you were still getting some sort of character ambiance.
That's awesome. The video that you guys just saw a minute ago is actually ours. We took that in September when we did the Topolino's breakfast. Topolino's is at the very top of Disney's newest resort, which is their Riviera Resort. It's absolutely gorgeous if you've never looked at pictures of the Riviera. But this character breakfast, I mean, obviously, Daisy here is not coming up to our table. She's at least 6 feet away from us, but she is doing a little dance. She's hamming it up. She paused and let us take great pictures and video footage of her. And the food at Topolino's was absolutely delicious. It was some of the best food that I've ever had at Disney. The views are gorgeous. When you're seated, you can see 3 of the 4 parks and 1 of the water parks. But if you walk back to where the bathrooms are, you can actually see Magic Kingdom as well. So you have views of all 4 parks in this restaurant, and it's beautiful. Like, it was a great experience. Yes, it wasn't the typical what you expect as character meal, but you still got to see those characters. And I saw, what was really interesting to me was I saw a lot more adults at Topolino's for that modified character experience. And I honestly wonder if maybe, adults feel more comfortable. Now, we're probably anomalies, we're Disney nerds, so we love hugging the characters and everything. But I mean, probably your average adult would be more like, let's wave and take a great picture without having to hug Mickey or anything like that. And so I saw a lot more adults taking advantage of character dining, which I thought was interesting for sure.
So I just want to add really quickly, I've had some clients travel recently and have had character meals, and have said it was an excellent experience for them as well. So
Mhm. That's
I
awesome.
definitely think it's still worth it.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. So, bottom line, ladies, is not having the dining plan a deal breaker? Like, is that reason enough not to plan a
No.
trip to Disney World right now?
No.
Okay.
And I will add, we were chatting before this got started, that when you don't have the dining plan, it gives you a little more flexibility. When you do know that you have all those credits, it's really great because you know you can order the most expensive thing at the restaurant or go grab that snack that's really expensive without having to worry about it. But you are having to navigate your day and make sure you are getting the best use of those credits. So that might mean you just had lunch, but you really want a snack to use that credit. So you might not be able to eat all that much back to back. So it gives you a little more flexibility here.
Mhm.
I know we
Yeah.
love
The
having
dining
extra credits at the
oh,
end. We love to go to the candy shop and fill up on gummies and whatever to bring home. So if you do have
Yep.
those extra snack credits, which we try to save some for the end, it's kind of fun to go to get some candy and bring it back home.
Yeah.
having the dining plan, you actually, I think, eat more because you have all those extra snacks, and then the meals are huge because they include the dessert as well. So you might actually not eat so much as well if you don't have the dining plan.
Right, which if you've packed on your quarantine 15 like a lot of us have, maybe that's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
You don't wanna necessarily eat a whole bunch of extra stuff. Yeah, I mean, I would totally agree. I think that it's not a deal breaker. I mean, like I mentioned at the beginning of this, I love the dining plan. I am a big proponent of the dining plan. I'm looking forward to it coming back because I think that particularly if you love character dining, which is one of my favorite things at Disney World, you really get the most value out of the dining plan because character dining is the most expensive dining. So if you use those table service credits for character meals, you're recouping a great value with that.
Mhm.
So I am a huge proponent of the dining plan, but I definitely would not let it stop me planning a trip. And I haven't let it stop me because I've been down twice since they reopened. And I think that if you take some of these tips and tricks that we've shared, and if you maybe use gift cards or you use your Disney rewards points, or maybe you even, use that envelope system or something like that, you can still do it. You can still have that prepaid feel. And you can also experience maybe some places that you wouldn't ordinarily have tried. That's kind of been our experience. We typically do go for character meals. And so we have had to, by necessity, try some different places that we probably never would have tried. And they've become some of our favorites, like ones that we will definitely visit again. So, speaking of favorites, let's end on a fun note for tonight. What is your favorite thing to eat in Disney World and where can we find it?
That was a tough one.
It
I
was a hard
know.
one.
It's
That's
hard
probably
to
the hardest.
narrow.
It's the hardest question of the night, I think. I personally love a classic, the Dole Whip top pineapple upside down cake, right next to the Enchanted Tiki Room at Magic Kingdom. It's one of my favorites. It's kind of
Yeah,
hard to leave Disney without a Dole Whip.
that's
Um,
iconic.
My favorite snack. Well, so my favorite snack, that's how I'll narrow this down. My favorite snack is also at the Magic Kingdom. And I love to get the All American Sundae from the Plaza Ice Cream Parlor. It is pick your own flavors of ice cream, and it has warm peanut butter and hot fudge on it and whipped cream. It's just amazing.
My favorite is actually at the Plaza Ice Cream Parlor as well. You cannot leave Magic Kingdom without having an ice cream cone. And when I was a kid, that was what Grandma did. She made sure that everyone had that ice cream, and you sat there and you watched the parade and you had your ice cream cone. And if you drop your ice cream cone, they will replace it for you.
Yes, it will. It will. A little bit of Disney magic for you there, right?
Sprinkle that
My
pixie dust.
Yeah. My favorite is actually not in a park. My favorite thing to eat at Disney World is the fried chicken at the Grand Floridian Cafe at the Grand Floridian Resort and Spa. Now, it's easy to get to from the Magic Kingdom. You just walk or take a quick monorail over. So, this is a great restaurant to eat at on a Magic Kingdom day because you can get there and back really quickly. But there is nothing like fancy, quote unquote, about this restaurant. Like there are no characters there. I mean, it's pretty, it's in a beautiful resort, but it's just a restaurant. But the food is so good. And like we eat there every time we go now. And I love that fried chicken. It's got like a cornflake breading on it, and it has this bacon vinaigrette that they drizzle over the top of it. It's just ridiculous. And my husband gets the lobster thermidor burger, which is also really, really good too. And I mean, there's just sometimes I honestly feel like the best food is sometimes at the resorts. It's in like these little places that you might not, because everybody wants to eat, in the park or something like that. But sometimes the best food that you're going to find is going to be in those little hidden gem places like that. So
We love doing that. We love going to the different resorts to try the
yes,
restaurants.
yes,
It's fun.
I totally agree. So I think that we have made it all the way through the questions that we had kind of pre-prepared. So now we're going to look and we're going to take some questions that maybe have been submitted through our comments. So let's see if we got any questions over here. Oh, Mandy, your ears are popular.
Yeah, big hit.
Those are awesome.
I have to
I
admit,
love
these are my daughters. I had to go find a Haunted Mansion fan, so she has it all.
nice. Those are awesome. How do you find out how many Disney rewards you have? Oh, Mary Alice, do you remember the word? Is it DisneyRewards.com? I don't
I
remember.
don't know. My husband always takes care of the balance. I think it is.
I
check
think
ours
it's
all the time.
DisneyRewards.com. Okay.
If they're actually on their Chase Visa account online, there's a spot off to the right that shows you exactly how many rewards you have on that card.
There you go. And
Good job.
before you can put it on a rewards card, I do know you have to have at least 10 points before you can transfer any of it over.
Right.
Yeah. Let's see what else. Is it 15 for just the meal? So for the adult quick service, yes, that would be just the meal. And then the drink would be extra. But again, they do give you free water. So if you want like ice water, then that's going to be no charge for that.
Or if you want to bring your own
Yeah.
Coke in, you can do that
Absolutely. You can. What about holiday meals like for Easter or Thanksgiving? Better on the dining plan or pay as you go? It's a tough one. What do you guys think?
I mean, those are typically going to be the higher end of the pricing because they are a holiday meal. So if and when the dining plan returns, I would say dining plan for those meals.
I think that's a good point. Let's see what else we got here. Honestly excited to not force ourselves to over. Yeah, I completely understand that. Yeah. Completely. Now, one way that, when dining plans do come back, this is something we were kind of, talking about before this started. I was really surprised last time we were there how many snack credits you can use on like breakfast items. Like you could get a side of like scrambled eggs and it was a snack credit. So like sometimes you can, instead of
And
like
soup too. Soup is sometimes
soup too. So instead of force feeding yourself that second cupcake or whatever, you can use, one of those snack credits for breakfast. And that's a good way to maximize that value too. Hello. We are booking Chef Mickey and doing breakfast to save. Great idea. We have 3 kids, but they are 16 and 14. Little one is 7. Is it worth the $250? So that's another thing we didn't point out is that kids who are 10 and over at Disney are charged adult pricing. So even though, you have a 16-year-old and a 14-year-old, you are going to pay the adult price for that. I have actually never done Chef Mickey. That's like one of the only character meals I have not ever done. So I'll let somebody who has done that one speak to it.
So I think no matter what age you are, you're going to love Chef Mickey. Chef Mickey's has been around for a long time. It started actually over at the Village, which is now called Disney Springs, and they moved it over to the Contemporary. We actually had my son's first birthday party there. So guess what? When you have a baby and it's the first baby of all your friends, all the friends are adults and just one or two kids. So all the adults had fun at Chef Mickey's as well. So yes, it's absolutely worth it however age you are, because at Disney you're a kid anyway.
That's true. And it would give you a way to like see the Contemporary, which is one of the original resorts. So definitely if you've never been, and particularly now if you are wanting to get closer to Mickey and his friends, that's going to be the best way for you to do that.
Mhm.
I would agree. We love it there. The atmosphere, watching the monorail go through, it's a great experience.
Mhm.
Yes, it's one of my favorites. I love it. You definitely can, especially at Epcot. Like we were saying, if
Yes.
there's a festival, it's definitely doable.
And even if there's not a festival, you can
That's
still eat all around the world.
Yes, you
Yes. Magic Kingdom, Adventureland, spring roll cart right at the entrance. They have cheeseburger spring rolls, and they are
And the pizza
life-changing.
ones. They will let you get one cheeseburger and one pizza.
They
So then you can
will.
try both.
They let you mix and match, which is awesome. I'm from the UK, so and I still do the gift cards thing. I mean, I would assume that if Disney gift cards are sold in the UK, then sure, you should be able to do that. And obviously they're just going to be, I mean, I know you don't use US dollars over there, but obviously, the exchange rate, whatever you're paying over there is worth over here, is what the balance would be on your gift card. But I mean, as long as they're sold, then yes, they can be used. You can use Disney gift card. You can pay. You actually have two ways to do that. You can either pay at the restaurant with your gift card, or if you're staying on site, you can pay with your Magic Band, and then you can pay your room balance with a gift card, because your Magic Band is going to charge it to your hotel portfolio, but you can pay off the balance of your hotel portfolio with a gift card.
Mhm.
Which actually might be more convenient because you only have one time and you're doing all those gift cards instead of multiple times.
Right.
Mhm.
That's true. What is a good restaurant to eat at with a family of 10? And can the gift card be used at all the restaurants? So the answer to the second part of that is yes. I mean, I'm not aware of any exceptions. Are you guys?
No, I mean, there are some. Go ahead, Chrissy.
No, go ahead. You started first.
There are some restaurant locations that aren't like owned by Disney, but you can still use your Magic Band to pay there. So I would assume you could still use a gift card to pay there as well.
You may not. I would double check, because at Disney Springs there's a couple of Landry's restaurants,
That's
so
true.
they're not technically Disney. But you're right. The best way to do it would be to charge it back to your room and then pay with the Disney gift card.
Right.
As far as a good restaurant to eat out with a family of 10, I'm trying to think.
I know. I mean, really, all of them can accommodate larger parties. Like there's I would go to one that's a bigger restaurant, obviously.
And I would, think about the price point you're wanting to pay for each person, because any of the restaurants can accommodate that. I would just think, do I want to pay that character dining experience for those 10 people, or do I want to pay, a little significantly less?
One of my favorite restaurants in the Magic Kingdom is Tony's Town Square, which is like right as you walk into Magic Kingdom. It's right on your right, right there on Main Street. And it's Italian food, but it's like, the Americanized version of Italian food. So it's a crowd pleaser. Like they have pizza, spaghetti, fettuccine Alfredo, probably something that everybody in the party could find something there.
Yeah. And maybe one of the family style meals might be a great place for that, like Whispering Canyon,
sure.
or right now most of the character meals, actually all of the character meals I think are like that right now.
Yeah, for sure. Garden Grove and Epcot would be a fun one too. Yeah. Garden Grill. Garden Grove is
Garden Grill.
Garden Grove.
We knew what you meant.
Yeah. When will fireworks be back? We don't know the answer to that question because Disney has not released it. So when we were there at Christmas, there were like short little fireworks bursts as part of their castle illuminations at night. And that was like a little, I guess, taste of fireworks at Disney. So it did my heart good, but we don't know for sure when the full fireworks presentations will be back. Oh, it's so good. And talk about something that's splittable, because it's two full, like it's two full chicken breasts. So like you could split that easily and it would probably be, I didn't, I ate the whole thing because it was
It looks
delicious, but
delicious.
you could split it if you wanted to. I thought the monorail was closed.
No, the monorail's not running to Epcot right now, but it is still running to the Magic Kingdom and the resorts
Yeah,
that are
with
there.
the exception of the Polynesian, just because the Grand Ceremonial House is undergoing some renovations right now, but it is still going to the Contemporary and the Grand.
Right. And if you are staying at Poly, you can still get on at the TTC, the
Mhm.
Ticket and Transportation Center.
Yeah, you can. Yes, you sure can.
Absolutely. And that's a great way to try new things too.
Let's see here. Do you think if the dining plan comes back, they'll offer free dining? We don't know.
Wouldn't that be
Your
great if
guess
they
is as
did?
good as ours, yeah. I mean, right now they have some fabulous promotions going on even without that. They're actually offering 2 free days of tickets with the purchase of, 3 days or more tickets in a package with a certain length of stay. Obviously, there's some stipulations on dates and resorts and stuff like that that qualify for that promotion. But honestly, in my experience, that promotion can be as good, if not, maybe even a little bit more of a savings than free dining. So, but we don't know. Hopefully, that'd be nice if they did. Let's see. No, they have to eat off of an adult plate. They can't order their own entree for free. We hope so, right? My daughter's been asking to do it since the park's closed, but I mean, we hope so, obviously. And it is cool to see them open up more and more things. Park hopping came back earlier this month. That was a big step towards, the way things used to be. We see more restaurants opening back up and things like that. So we hope so. But that is kind of more of a high touch or high proximity experience. So that one could potentially take a little bit longer, but we hope so. Oh, that's a good question. Easter brunch. What do you guys think would be a good
Grand
Easter
Floridian
brunch?
Cafe.
That they do have fantastic
Yeah.
brunch there.
Yeah, it's hard to say what they'll do for Easter this year, but there are several great brunch places. Chef Art Smith at Disney Springs has a good brunch. There's a brunch at the top of the Contemporary in California Grill. But who knows what all that will look like this Easter.
That's right. But stay tuned. When we get official word, we will post it in the group. Yes, you sure can. That's one of my favorite things to do actually on Disney, is to resort hop and to eat at the restaurants and just look around and enjoy it. Are all the restaurants and all the resorts open to the public, or are there DVC only restaurants? No, they are all open to the public. So as long as you have a reservation, because if you're not staying on site, you will need a reservation that you can show to the attendant at the parking lot to let you on the property. So you will need a reservation, but as long as you make that reservation, you can go. If you have kids older than the kids menu, can they still eat from it? I mean, they can for quick service. They can for quick service dining. With table service dining, I mean, I have never tried that, but I have seen them be a little bit more strict with the ages at the table service dinings. But for quick service, definitely, anybody. I'm 35. I could order off the kids' meal if I wanted to. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. No question about that.
Yep.
You'll
You'll still have
choices.
plenty of food.
Yes. You
Yep,
can.
anywhere.
Oh, yes. Well, good. That's awesome. I'll have to try it. Maybe next time we go back, I'll give it a shot. Anything else? Yes, you can. You sure can. Um, so that kind of goes back to what we said earlier. Certain places you can share an entree, like if it's an a la carte table service, like just any normal restaurant, you would go in, you would order a plate. As long as it's not a character meal or a family style or buffet meal, you can split. Mhm. Yes, they are.
They are.
They're
You're
amazing.
going to want more than two.
They sell out, but get there quick.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
true.
they do.
I know. We missed it last time we were there, and there's like video
wait.
footage of me going, "Oh, the
Yep.
rolls are gone."
We've learned if you want them and they're there, get them.
Yep. Even if there's a line, you better get in it.
Oh, awesome. Very good. Yeah.
Yes, strongly encouraged.
recommended.
Yes.
That's not to say that every once in a while you can't get in without one, but there's, especially right now with limited
Mhm.
capacity, strongly recommended. That's true. You sure can. You just eat off the parent's plate. Yeah.
Right. Mhm.
No, you can't.
No.
Because it's not linked to a credit card. It's linked to the hotel portfolio. So if you're not staying at a Disney hotel, you don't have that option.
Right. Be our guest worth it during the pandemic. It's almost
Same.
exactly the same. The Beast is still visible. The only difference is you're not going to walk into the library and take a photo op next to him,
Mhm.
but they never came around to your table or anything like that and sign stuff like that.
Yeah.
Same food, same menu. Traveling with the littles.
Yeah, littles. You for dining or just like in general? Yeah, I mean for dining, you know, I would definitely say some of the things that we've shared, like maybe during the hottest part of the days, especially with little kids, taking some time to sit down in the air conditioning, maybe do a table service meal in the middle of the day. Do you guys have anything to add?
Bring those snacks.
That's what I was
Bring
gonna
the
say.
snacks, yes.
Bring the snacks.
Keep everybody fed and happy. Also, popcorn is another thing. Now, I remember, you know, I mean, 2-year-olds obviously and popcorn don't really mix, but I mean, if you have older littles, like 4 or 5-year-olds, we usually get one of the refillable popcorn buckets because you can refill those for $2.
Mhm.
And so, like, my kids just would munch on that all day and keeps everybody happy. And it's
Yep.
nice.
We do the same.
Oh,
Favorite moderate.
so, oh, that's tough.
I know. My favorite moderate's not open right now.
Oh, it's one of the Port Orleans.
Port
Yeah,
Orleans,
yes.
Riverside.
that's a beautiful one.
Yes.
Why is that your favorite, Mary Alice?
I love the feel of it. I love the charm. I love the it feels nice, and you know, you're not paying that deluxe price, and they have the royal guest rooms there where you can stay like a princess for a little while.
That's right. That's a great one. Mandy, what about you? What's your favorite?
I'm gonna say the Caribbean beach, right on the Skyliner.
Mhm.
Lots of walking around, but you know, the Skyliner is big for us.
It
Mhm.
is.
It's like a ride in
Chris-
itself. So
Chrissy, what about you? What's your favorite?
Mine is Port Orleans Riverside too. But I do have a second favorite. Coronado is really nice too, and it has a nice feeling to it. So
Yeah. Coronado is actually my favorite moderate, particularly if I can stay at the Grand Destino Tower. Because speaking of feeling like you're in a deluxe resort for a moderate price, like the Grand Destino Tower is beautiful.
Gorgeous.
It has its own, you know, bus stop right there. It's really convenient, and the rooms are all interior entry, which typically at Disney you only get that at the deluxe level. So it's my favorite moderate to stay at. Newly renovated too.
Mhm.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you for watching. I don't think there is right now.
Not right now.
Typically there is, but there's
Mhm.
not right now. But for Christmas and New Year's, is it really worth the extra money? Well, I mean, Disney's magical at Christmas.
Mhm.
yes,
It's really the most magical time to go, I think.
And if that's when your family can travel, then
Mhm.
it's worth the money.
Great weather too, because it's not real
Mhm.
hot in December, so it's good.
Well, you might want to think about going earlier in the month instead of later in the month
Mhm.
because December, at the end of December, it's more expensive. At the beginning of the month, it's not, I don't think. So
Yeah, but it's
maybe
still decorated.
it's
Yeah.
still decorated. It starts usually the middle of November. So
Right.
Yeah, for sure. I think it depends on offsite, onsite.
100%.
Yeah, I think there's, it's probably more worth it for on-site guests than off-site guests, I would think. Ooh.
That's a tough one too. We love both of them. We go
And
there.
it also,
Yeah.
yeah, it also depends. Not every character meal has the same characters. So, Chip and Dale and Mickey and is it Pluto are at Garden Grill. And then at Chef Mickey's is going to be Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Goofy, and Pluto. And they're always dressed differently based on where you go to. So
yeah, they
if
are.
you really want to see them dressed like farmers, go to Garden Grill. If you want to see them dressed like they've been cooking up a storm, go to Chef Mickey's.
They're both unique experiences, though. That's a tough one.
Yeah. But you have to think Chef Mickey's is inside the Contemporary with the monorail, but then Garden Grill is above the ride there. So it rotates as well. So you get to see the ride. So that is different from any other experience. There's not that many that rotate.
Yeah, that's a great point. You mean like through like Instacart or something? Yeah, I did it last time we were there. So yes, you can.
You can.
I mean, it's real similar to how it was before. You just missed that one picture standing right next to him. But other than that, it's the same. Ooh.
Oh, that's hard.
Hmm.
Well, we got to narrow that down. Like, where are we? Are we at
What park
Disney
are we in?
Springs? Or are we at a park?
My favorite outdoor restaurant ever is Flame Tree Barbecue in Animal Kingdom. I love that place. So
That's great.
I'm always going to pick that one.
There's tons of outdoor dining at Disney Springs. Just about every restaurant, quick service and table service has an outdoor option, if not all outdoor.
Yeah. 60 days out from check-in, if you're an on-site guest, 60 days out from each individual day that you're eating, if you're an off-site guest. Oh, they have a lot of purposes.
Yeah, so it will charge to your hotel. It will also be your key to the door and your ticket into the park.
And if you have pictures taken, it will be what links those to your account. So
and if you are charging and setting up those charging privileges, you'll set up a PIN on your My Disney Experience account when you check in. Start the online check-in with your hotel, and then you don't have to worry about losing your Magic Band. If you do lose it, no one can just take it and start charging back to your room. And you can also decide if you want to set those up for your children or not, so they can't just tap away and start charging things that you don't want them to. But that doesn't work. It's not just to charge food. That would also work at any of the retail locations.
Yeah, for sure. And when there are fast passes, you scan in for fast passes with your Magic Band. But of course, those are suspended right now. Let's see. Oh, I think so. Yeah. I think their palates might be mature enough for sure to really appreciate the culinary side of it too. That'd be our guess. Yeah.
And
I have oops, sorry.
No, go ahead, Mandy.
My kids love the breakfast there only because they don't like that lunch and dinner options there, but Gaston's breakfast there. That's one of our favorites with the pastries. So absolutely.
Yeah, I was just going to say there's a lot of different theming inside the castle for Be Our Guests. So I think your kids will love it.
It depends. Like they have specialty ones that are a little bit larger, but like the normal ones are like about that big. If that helps you, Mary Alice, do you happen to have? Mary Alice is that big.
Yeah, I was
right
like,
now.
You can go grab the popcorn bucket. We'll show you how big it is. Yeah, the special ones they can either hold more popcorn or
Or
less.
Yeah.
But right now, when they're refilling, they're not actually putting it in your bucket. They're just giving you that traditional box. So you're probably getting more in
Yeah.
that way than you would in the bucket. But the bucket will be here in just a second. We can move on and then I'll hold it up.
Okay.
Here it is.
There we go.
Ta-da!
Ta-da.
So let me there.
Jack. Oh.
Yeah.
Like a medium popcorn at the movie theater, maybe not quite.
Yeah.
Large, but
Probably medium.
Oh, if it's a family suite, I would pick the family suite. If it's a standard room, I would pick Caribbean Beach. But Caribbean Beach is such a large resort that upgrading to a preferred room there is really worth it. It's not that much more money, but it's going to put you closer to dining and transportation. It's going to be well worth it. What do you guys think? Do you agree, disagree of the choice there?
Yeah. Unless you really have a little princess that wants to stay in like an Ariel themed room, then I would say Art of Animation.
we love our Art of Animation. The theming gets us all the time. I love Disney in your face, the characters and the sculptures and the pool, the big blue pool when that's open. So we're an Art of Animation family.
I always take the bus personally and have never had any issues with it, even right now with the modified experience. Yeah.
Same here.
Yep. And we drive a lot too. We are lucky enough to be within driving distance. So sometimes we fly, sometimes we drive. So we've done it both ways. You'll be fine either way.
Oh, that's a hard question.
Yeah, we got to narrow that down to some location before I can start talking. You know what really does have a really good quick service? The Poly. Captain Cook's is
Captain
really
Cook's is
good. Mhm.
Yeah. I like Docking Bay 7 in Galaxy's Edge in Hollywood
Oh,
Studios.
and Woody's Lunchbox, I think is fabulous. And I don't care how hot it is, they have tomato soup and it's so good. So even if it's 90 degrees outside, you get some tomato soup with your grilled cheese.
Now my kids, as corny as it is, they love Cosmic Rays. We can't leave Magic Kingdom without going Cosmic Rays. That's one of their favorites.
Yeah. Chrissy, what about you?
We like the Yak and Yeti at Animal Kingdom.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that one. That's a good one, too.
And you already mentioned Flame Tree Ginger. We really like Flame Tree as well.
Flame Tree. So good. Satuli Canteen is another.
Oh, it's very good. Yes. And you could easily share that because they're like bowls and you build your base and go from there. So if you wanted something a little more filling, you could easily share that.
Yeah. And I like Pecos Bill in the Magic Kingdom too.
Oh, I love that one too.
Yeah.
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 Coronado.
Awesome. Land and Sea. Ooh,
I love that. Can we come?
Yeah. For research purposes, of course.
Exactly. Strictly.
Yeah. We don't know. We don't know. Oh, thank you for watching. No, I don't think so. I think you have to do it before you check out.
Yeah, what we generally do is just go the night before we check out the next morning and just apply what we have with the gift card. And then if we don't cover it all, we just use the credit card to cover the rest.
Like for food or like souvenirs and stuff. I mean, I wouldn't give my kids 25 a day to spend on my toys and stuff. No. Maybe for like the whole trip, like you get 25 period, but yeah. That'll buy you a couple toys, maybe.
Or one part of one. Really big one stuffed animal. It will get you that.
Oh, that's a good question. They do have like kids Mickey check meals at most of the restaurants, which are like the healthier options. But they also have, they have gluten-free options. There is typically a lighter option at most places that you're going to need to eat. So I'm sure you'd be able to.
They also have a lot of plant-based products. Like just about every menu I've looked at in the past week has had some sort of option like that on it.
And there are salads and grilled chicken all over the place as well. So there's something.
That's true. Yes.
Yes.
It is.
Yes. Actually, if you come back while they still have the same bucket, you can refill it then on the next trip if you come close enough.
Mhm.
Magic Kingdom or Epcot?
Oh, that must have been the, is that I wonder if that was a follow-up to when we were
Oh,
speaking
yes.
about quick service. Quick service in Magic Kingdom, I would definitely say Pecos Bill.
Mhm.
Epcot, oh, that's so much
Or
harder.
I don't know, Sleepy Hollow is at Magic
Oh,
Kingdom too, which
yes.
gets overlooked really
It
easily.
does.
But it has the best views of the castle.
It does. At Epcot, I really like the new Regal Eagle Smokehouse. It was excellent. We ate there last month, and it was really, really good barbecue. Very good
We
barbecue.
Yeah, we also like the quick service restaurant in the Mexico Pavilion, and I never remember the exact name of
So
it, so
good.
please don't ask me. But
The Cantina.
yes,
Mhm.
yes, that is it. Yes.
La
And
Cantina. There you
and
go.
you can actually eat outside, but if you don't see any tables outside, here's an insider trick. The restaurant right next door is table service for dinner, but they have it open up for lunch too. So if you don't see any tables outside, you can actually go sit inside for your meal.
Mhm. Yeah.
Sleepy Hollow.
All right. Well, I think that's it. Well, thank you all so much for joining us tonight for Sundays with MMT. We had a lot of fun talking Disney food, as you can tell. Disney food is like half the fun of planning the vacation, honestly. So, if you would like to get some more information about planning a Disney vacation from any of the agents that you heard from tonight, feel free to reach out to us. And if you missed our contact information, you can actually go back and rewatch the beginning of the video where we explain the best ways to contact us. Remember, our planning services are always free when you book your vacation through us, and booking your vacation through us is the same price as booking it yourself on Disney's website. But you do get those types of insider tricks, like Mary Alice just shared with you. You know, little known things that you can do here and there. That's what travel agents are for, is to help you with things like that. So our next Sunday nights, we will be in our live in our destination wedding group. We will actually be sharing some just general information and options about planning a destination wedding. So if you're thinking about planning a destination wedding, that's definitely the place for you. And then on February 7th, we will be live in our Universal Orlando group talking about the premier resorts at Universal Orlando, the pros and cons of each one, and kind of what they offer. So if you are thinking about maybe doing a split stay or visiting Universal Orlando on an upcoming vacation, definitely check that out. But thank you again for joining us tonight, and we hope to see you again next Sunday for another episode of Sundays with MMT. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.